Hi, my name is Meg Langridge and I'm a policy intern at the University of Tasmania, and thank you so much for this really great and important question. Has Australia taken any steps to manage its carbon emissions? The short answer is yes. The Australian government has recently committed to reducing our emissions by 43% by 2030 and to be net zero by 2050. You might be wondering, why does the government set targets like this? Basically, because the government has made this target into a law, it means that the people who work for the government have to think about this target when they're making decisions. It means that we can track our progress, we can compare ourselves with other countries, and the government can be held accountable if we don't meet this target by 2030. So now the government has set this target, what is it doing to make sure that it's met? First, I think we should quickly talk about where Australia's carbon emissions come from. The biggest source of emissions that we have is from stationary energy, which basically means the non-renewable fossil fuels like gas and coal that we burn to make electricity. The second biggest source of emissions is transport, which means the petrol and the diesel that's burnt to power our cars, buses, trains, planes, trucks, and ships. To help us reduce our biggest source of emissions, we need more renewable electricity that comes from sources like wind farms, solar power, and hydropower. The exciting thing for Tasmania is that our electricity is already 100% renewable. So the Tasmanian government's new target is to double our renewable electricity generation by 2040 so that we can send more clean electricity to the mainland. To help with the second big source of emissions, Australia needs more electric cars and buses. Part of the problem with this is that electric vehicles are still quite expensive compared to petrol cars, so in some states the government is giving money to people to help them buy electric vehicles. State governments are also working on building electric vehicle chargers around the country so that people are able to charge their cars. Lots of changes are going to happen to make sure that we meet the target of reducing our emissions by 43% by 2030. But if the national government works together with state governments, businesses, and with the community, we can achieve this goal.